Do you love to complain? Like you love to tell everybody how bad you have it? Okay, welcome to the club. We have an amazing show for you today. It's a comedy hour complaining, and we've got the improv ladies. It's gonna be fantastic, and we're gonna do role playing. We got the mustaches. Great show. Stay tuned. We're live! Yay! Finally, we got it. Are you a complainer? Do you know somebody who's a complainer? Do you love to complain? Right? Do you love to complain? We have an amazing show. We've got the improv ladies here with us today. They are awesome. Hi, ladies. Thank you for being here. We've got our mustaches. We are going to have role playing. We are going to do some, oh yeah, there's the mustaches. We are going to do some awesome stuff in role playing. They're going to make a little bit of a goofy whatever. And then I'm going to give some really hardcore, what do you do when a complaint is about to come out of your mouth? Stay tuned. Let's introduce everybody. Rachel, you're first.
Hi, I'm Rachel Drummond.
Hi, I'm Siggy Rabbit.
Hi, I'm Taylor Lou.
Hi, I'm Julie Mann.
Yay, guys. Thank you so much. So who's up first? We're going to go right into the role playing. That's Rachel. Siggy is the wife. And Rachel today, right now, is being the husband. Yeah, you look very husbandly, like you're with especially with a ponytail. Okay, right. Hello. So here's the complaint that you have. It's kind of like an excuse, a kind of a complaint, but like, how do you expect me, husband? This is you're saying to your husband. How do you expect me to clean up when I have a migraine? That's your complaint. Okay, and it kind of gets you off the hook, also, but it is a complaint, and it's really real. You're on.
How do you expect me to clean when I have a migraine? I mean, I'm always cleaning and cooking and doing everything, but today my head hurts. It's pounding through my skull. I'm seeing gray. My eyes are literally bloodshot and popping out. I cannot do the dishes and the laundry today. You're bored. You're actually bored. And you know, we just might have
Since you asked a question, maybe I could give an answer. I would think that you could clean the exact way you always clean. I mean,
it hurts. It's pounding. I need a nap. When you have a sniffle, you get in bed for 17 hours straight and watch TV. And now my head is actually falling out of its skull, and it really hurts.
Your head looks great.
It looks great.
I think you can.
I'm really put together.
So let me ask you now, in a real life situation, right? The husband, so what's the source? This is where we want to start with complaining. It's kind of understanding what the source is. Is it about the headache? Is it about something else you're angry about that you're taking out on the headache? What is the emotion that's going on behind the scenes?
I think that my head actually hurts because something in me is telling me subconsciously, I don't want to do all the cleaning by myself. I feel like it's a burden I take on every day, and I need help. I need to share this burden, and my head is screaming at me and telling me physically, this is a manifestation of how I feel inside. Can you take that in with your head?
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm a woman. We have feelings and we can analyze them. And I feel like you could actually help alleviate this headache that is now manifesting as a physical pain if you just do your share around the house.
I don't know what my share is.
Can I give you your share?
Now we're getting a little crazy.
And my headache just came back tenfold. And you know what? It's coming. I'm getting like a stomach ache now too. I feel like the pain is just continuing throughout the body, screaming for help.
So is the headache not real?
The headache is so real that it's both physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental. And that's just coming out in all angles. And I'm going to go to the bedroom and I'm going to take a nap. And when I come out, I would like the dishwasher emptied. Like the countertops.
He's got the headache.
oh, you're having a manifestation of internal fears around doing some work around the house. Is that right?
I feel a little sick to my stomach as well.
Yes. Yeah, so here's the thing. You guys, wow, is that real? Like, wow. Very, very good. You good acting. Maybe it wasn't so acting. Is that here's the thing about it is that one of the manifestations, one of the reasons that we complain is because we don't feel heard. We don't feel listened to. We don't feel like we get the, what's coming out of our mouth is being listened to on the other side. So we natter more. I think I'm actually going to go a little bit of what are some of the root causes of complaining. I think that'll actually help this before we do. And then you guys can, I'm going to give you an opportunity to repair that and communicate it in a way that actually he can hear. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to go through boom, 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 a bunch of the reasons why people complain, feeling like they need attention, like they just have to keep nattering. It's like they don't care if it's bad attention, they just need attention. And so they use complaining as a way to get attention. We're going to learn ways around that. It's also a way to get sympathy. It doesn't solve the problem, but it gets you sympathy sometimes. It's something is bothering, as I said, something is bothering you. And so you take it out on complaining rather than directly saying what's really bothering you. Other thing is you're acting out of anger for something your husband did before. He didn't remember that it was your birthday or something. And so the next day you complain about this. So, how come I drive such an old car? How come I, this old stupid refrigerator with the wiggly door handle? It's anger that's coming out because of some of things you're mad about something else. Also, it's a mistake. People think if they complain, it's going to help fix it. Never does. Like it may impart the information, but it imparts it in such an icky, emotional way that it's not productive, or it's marginally productive. Whereas if that same trying to fix something came out in a different way, like, I wish the fridge door didn't jiggle, that wouldn't be as much of a, maybe that is a complaint. Okay. But I'm just saying, it'd be easier to hear than, why didn't you fix this? Or I wish this door, yelling at the door or whatever. How you communicate that information is much more indicative of how effective it's going to be. So people,
Leah, someone on Facebook said, just to that, they said they actually have a fear of asking help because they already feel like they're going to hear no before they even ask, meaning they just know the answer is going to be no anyways, so they don't even want to ask.
That's fantastic. First of all, thank you for the question. And here's the way to handle that, is to get your husband on board and say, listen, there's things around that I need done. I feel really badly asking you because I know how hard you work. I know what a wonderful husband you are. Pilot on, ladies. You do so much around here, and you're so wonderful. So I really hate to ask, but sometimes there's something. I need a light bulb, or we have a whole thing with light bulbs about, should a woman change it? It's a whole conversation. But whatever it is that the woman wants, and you're feeling like you can't ask him. So ask him, what should I do when I have something I need done, and how can I communicate it to you in a way that won't backfire or won't make you, upset? And that also gives you a chance to say no, you don't want to do that thing or whatever. But would you like me to communicate with you to you at the time that I need it? Would you like me to communicate it to you before I see, oh, that light bulb keeps flickering, maybe it's going to go out? Would you like me to write it on a Post-it note or an index card or text it to you? Would you like me to, once a week, make a list of everything I need? And if it's not on that list, you don't have to even think about it and have to wait till the next week. What is going to work for you that doesn't give me that feeling like I'm not being supported, and I'm not connecting with you, and I feel like I'm stuck, just frustrated. And if you do this in a way that's very loving and gives them the permission to say, well, most of the times I'd like you to ask me directly, but 50% of the time I'm going to say no. Is that okay? And you have to be willing to say, yeah, okay, I got it. Okay. That freedom and that directing how it's going to play out is the world of difference. The guy feels like he's in control. He feels like you're not burdening him. He can actually sympathize that there you are, and you have stuff you want him to do. And he wants to please you. He wants to make you happy. He just doesn't like this constant complaining and constant nagging. Let's tell Sheree if that answered your question, if you have more questions about it, and keep typing, ladies. We love the questions. Okay, let me go back to the main reasons people complain. They feel a perceived lack of control. Like if they complain about it, it's like, oh, I stubbed my toe, I can't believe it. It kind of gives a little bit more control over uncontrollable things. It doesn't really give you control, but it gives you the feeling that you have control. Other reason people complain, they have high expectations or they have high entitlement, like I deserve more. Why isn't it going the way I want it to go? And so they come out with a litany of complaints because of that. We think complaining bonds us to another person, like, can you believe how bad this coffee is? And you think it's bonding with the other person, but usually it's just you end up being a negative person, like seeing everything as the glass half empty. So you might be bonding with them in some sense, but in the terms of being somebody that they want to walk into a room and see. Well, now it's COVID. What like hello, walk into a room. Having that relationship with them. If you were to say, it's I woke up this morning in such a bad mood, and then I got outside and the sky was so blue, it just put a bounce in my step. Contrast that you're feeling towards a person who said that versus a person who said, this coffee is awful, right? You want to be more time and spend more time and be closer to the person who's got a more positive attitude and isn't complaining. So the bonding is not really accurate. So these are some of the reasons main cause of complaining. Understanding the causes of complaining will help motivate us, okay? Me first, will help motivate us to work on the complaining aspect, because it's hard work. It's such ingrained habit in women, men also, it's such a human thing to have that. So let's see, being judgmental. Sometimes you're complaining because, putting someone else down makes you feel better about yourself, which doesn't really do either. It's just like, it's gossip about somebody else and puts someone down. If you complain like, I'm so busy, it makes you kind of look important. And the last reason is that we complain because we're so uncomfortable with discomfort. Meaning, when things don't go just how we want, the bed wasn't exactly, then the pillow wasn't cold enough or hot enough, or that, whatever it is that the addiction to being comfortable is a very human thing. But we don't realize most of the time when we go through an uncomfortable patch of time or a comfortable thing we're doing, that uncomfortability is usually when we're really growing. So as much as we try and shun being uncomfortable, try, after hearing this, try one time when you're uncomfortable, just waiting, and they told you to be there at 1, and you're just sitting in your car waiting for the thing to be delivered, and whatever, it's 1:15 and 1:20 and whatever, and steam is coming. Say, you know what? There's a lot of growth that's available in being uncomfortable. I'm not complaining. Okay, those are some of the main causes of complaining. Let's go. So now, when you're going through this and you're saying let's use those tools. A lot of your complaining comes from upset about your whole life, not just the thing. So now I'm going to ask that you share your mental process with your husband. Husband, you need your mustache. You can hold it on. It's okay. And at least, yeah, it's not. Oh, we didn't hear. Did you? Is that her voice coming through?
I said my tape is giving out, so I'm trying to wait till the last second to put it on.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. We need. What'd you say?
It's fake?
It's fake. It's a fake mosaic. Okay, so go, Siggy, you're on.
Hey, honey, my head really hurts today. I feel like I need some love from you. You're such a wonderful husband. You take care of the family. Yeah, I so appreciate all the things you did. You took the trash out this morning. That really meant a lot. And I really appreciate all the things you do. I feel a little like I'm taking on too much, and I'm feeling a little weak and headachy. And I'm wondering if maybe today you can just show me a little extra love, and would it be okay if I rested a little and instead of doing the dishes today?
You can do them tomorrow. I'll save them for you.
Is it possible for you to do them, actually? Because we'll have a whole new set tomorrow, and it would mean so much to me. And you're so good looking, and you're so kind, and you're so good to our kids and our puppy. And
okay. Oops, I hit the. Okay, fine.
Your love.
With 10 gold stars. Okay, let's get the other set of improv ladies on. Great job, Rachel.
Leah, while you get the other women up, there's a question that came in. Someone said, if I ask my husband, he feels bad to say no because he doesn't want to upset me, but he's unable to do it. This snowballs as I feel like, why can't he just be honest with me?
He doesn't say no, you're saying?
No, he doesn't. He says yes, but then he doesn't really pull through, and he doesn't really do what she needs done. And then she's like, why couldn't he just tell me he couldn't do it? And then so I wouldn't count on him. And it just snowballs because he can never be honest with her.
Fantastic question. Do you know half of problems are not being able to identify what the problem is? Good on you. You did a great job. So here's the thing about this issue. He knows that he says yes and doesn't do it. It's not like you would tell him that and say, really? Oh, that's earth-shattering. He knows. And he feels deeply bad about it, even if he shoves it under the carpet, So here's the conversation that you can have with him that can be like the game changer, is to first of all, sit down with a piece of paper, not before you talk to him. Sit down and write 20 awesome things you love about him. Things he does, things he says, things the way he is that he can't do anything. He's got a nice mustache, whatever. Okay. So you write down 20 things for two reasons. One is to get yourself over resentment and anger. If you see the cup half full and you see, it is goodness, it will help you in this conversation. The second thing is your whole attitude when you sit down in your conversation with him will be shifted dramatically. You'll just be sitting there with somebody who you love a lot. That'll be right on the tip. Like we can bury that. When you're mad enough, it just goes way out of your head. So in the background. So what you're doing is you're making a list of all the things you love about him, and then not exhausted, just 20. 30, whatever. You just make a bunch. Then when you sit down and say, you have a couple minutes, I just want to talk to you about something. I don't want to be heavy about it, but I just want to say that, you're an amazing husband. I feel so lucky to be married to you. And I feel like sometimes I talk to you, when we have these deep conversations, I feel like they're fruitful, even if they aren't. Let him feel good about the past. Don't say, you never listened to me, but say, I feel like at least I feel heard, right? You were heard. He heard he may not have changed, but he heard. Okay. So give him some really deep compliments that have a semblance of reality to them. That'll ring true to him. And then say, here's the situation. I'm not sure what to do about this situation. I'm not even sure you're really aware of it consciously. He may not be. He may only subconsciously be upset about it inside, but consciously. I know that you don't have, you may not be aware of this, but a lot of times I ask you to do something and you're so yummy, you say yes. But then I wait and I wait and I wait. And then I feel bad saying anything because you already said yes. And then I feel like a nagger and I really don't know how to deal with it. Can you think of a solution that will solve this? Can you think of a way like, whether we write it down and then you check it off, and when you check it off, then I make you an apple pie. Does anyone know how to make an apple pie? Maybe one of you ladies, whatever, not the mustache guys, but some way that I would feel like I'm gotten. Like when you say yes and then don't do it, I'm in like a cage. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to be a good wife in that point. So I was thinking backwards, like what would avoid this problem? And I think it would avoid it. Frankly, please don't say no all the time, but I'd rather you said no, and at least then I'd figure out how to deal with it, hire a handyman or do it myself or, whatever. I'd figure out a solution, but waiting for you, it builds resentment that doesn't have to be there. So is there a way we can work this out? And then listen, open your ears, zip your lip. Here, we got the duct tape, right? What happened to my duct tape? Someone's been playing with it. I had it so that I could open. Okay. So you put the duct tape over and listen. He's going to come up with amazing things. He might say to you, I'm never going to say yes when I mean no ever again. I doubt he'll say that. And even if he did say it, he wouldn't necessarily keep to it, but put the problem in his lap. It's a great question. Thank you. Ladies, keep the questions coming. Let's go to our next team. Here we go. It is Taylor and Julie. Fantastic. Okay. So Julie's the husband. Taylor, go look at your list of the complaints that you have. And let's see if any one of them is good for us to do right now.
I put down hard to find a good yenta for his sister, and that she was complaining about it all the time and that nothing was good enough. Not enough time, and my cooking's not up to snuff.
Ooh, those are good, Sarit. Which one? Cooking or not enough? What was that?
Well, cooking and the sister is a hard, between the sister and the cooking. I think one of those are.
Okay, let's do the cooking. Okay, cooking. Okay, so you complaining, wait, that's a complaint for the husband. No, we're doing it backwards.
No, that like my cooking is just never good enough. So like he's making like little comments here and there and he doesn't quite eat it.
Oh, I see. So
know,
you complain to him about that he doesn't like your food.
Yeah, like if nothing's good enough.
No, but you're right. he shouldn't do that. Okay, let me take one of the ones I already have here. Okay, so you want to do you're always complaining about let's see, about he spends too much time at work and you always complain about it. Okay, so go right now, you're going to complain you always spend so much time at work, and then let's okay.
Can we talk about it again? About how much time you spent at work? Because, you know, this was supposed to be a partnership, right? That's what we said. That's what we said in front of the rabbi. You know, in front of all of our friends, we wanted, we were going to spend time together as a partnership. But now, I mean, like you get home at like what, 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock? How does that help me?
Okay, first of all, you said it's going to be a conversation, and this is another monologue about how I work a job to
I have
pay
a job too.
for our life.
Okay, but you work, but I work too. And then we have 6 kids. What are we going to do? You want me to handle the whole thing by myself?
I have a job. You have a job. Do your job. I do my job.
Yes, but when we got married, it was never supposed to be just me. We got married, it was supposed to be a partnership. Remember, the home is everything. The home is everything. So why do I get, you come home at 10 o'clock at night, you're in bed within a half hour, half the kids are already in bed, and then I'm still doing something and I have to be up at 6 a.m.
Well, I have to be up at 6 a.m. to go to work, back to my job. Do you want to come talk to my boss?
You said you were going to talk to your boss and you still have the same hours. This was 3 years ago.
The problem is I want to keep a job. If
Well,
I have to leave my job because you...
Wow. Sorry, what do we got on Instagram and Insta and Facebook?
So firstly, we have tons of hearts and comments and people are very much loving and relating to this. We do have a question, but I figured you should first do this and then you'll come back to me and I'll ask you because it's a question on before. So
okay, fine.
The topic.
Fine. So here's the thing. Is this like, this is too real? I was like scared, like, what's gonna happen to this show? Like, how am I gonna handle this? You guys were awesome. I mean, it was very realistic and it's true. It's like, it's an impasse. What do you do now? So here's the thing with this situation, there is a conversation that the wife could have here that would shift things a little bit. It's a very untenable situation because you don't know, in reality, we don't know whether his job is on the line if he worked less, or whether he is, he's inefficient in his time, or he likes being there more than around 6 kids. There's too much for him and it's too stressful or whatever. There's a very subtle challenge that a woman has to battle between wanting her husband at home to help or to be with her or to just not feel lonely from missing him or whatever, and this whole thing of wanting him to work hard and bring more money in. And a lot of women, they're like, I want a car, I wanted this, I want to, whatever. And then the husband works more. Whereas if they thought about it, they'd be like, you know what, I'm going to drive this 20-year-old car so that my husband will be home more. It's a very hard calculation to make. And some people, the husband has to work those many hours just to make ends meet, and maybe they're not even, maybe they're going into credit card debt, or they're, having really, really financial difficulties. So this is a really tough issue here. But for sure, if there was, she said, they've been having this problem for 3 years and he was going to try and fix it then. So obviously the conversation 3 years ago wasn't as productive it needs to be in a place, or the best way is for it to be in a place where she is okay with how it is, and he is, and he's working harder to be more at home. So what we want to do now is Taylor, you want to have a conversation with your husband where you're actually presenting this, you presented it as you're meant to, as a complaint, okay, as a dumping the whole thing in his lap, right? That's how you started. Now let's try and have a conversation with him that gets him on side to understanding your side of it, understanding your feelings, not in a way that dumps them on him, but like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do, like if a husband feels like you're inviting him, you're being vulnerable, and which can be scary, but you're inviting him to help you because you need his help. It's a vulnerable place to be, but it's the fastest way to your husband's heart. And so in your conversation with him, if you're like, I love you, I want to spend more time with you, and I know we had this conversation before, I know it's work, is there anything we can do? And maybe he'll say, at around 8 o'clock, that's when the boss leaves, and I have to punch out at 10 because otherwise he'll get in trouble. But when he leaves at 8 o'clock, are you possibly available for like a 10-minute phone conversation? He'll come to you. He'll work with you because he'll understand how you're feeling. So right now is your opportunity to speak right from your heart on what in a way that honors him and respects him and gives him makes yourself a little bit vulnerable, but makes him not feel defensive and like he's battling you. Okay, go ahead, Taylor, you're on.
Hey,
Hey,
sounds like you had a really long day.
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah,
It
is
was
the
really
case still
hectic
going
today.
on? Because you.
Yeah, I actually I have some calls I'm still supposed to take and make before bedtime.
I know, and it's so hard, especially with all the time changes, going to the East Coast and West Coast and everything else, try to fit everything in. It's so hard when there's 24 hours, it's just not enough time.
Exactly. If I had a 34-hour day, I might be okay.
And are you okay with the people that you've got that are working on your team underneath you?
I'm so glad you asked. I don't necessarily trust them, so I end up doing a lot of their work. So it's extra work for me, Yeah,
but don't you remember that, when you made partner 3 years ago,
that was
remember
amazing.
we were going to be able to travel a little bit and things like that. And, you have to trust that you're good enough to pick your team so that that they're going to support you.
I just know that nobody does it as well as I do, I mean, I'm amazing at my job. That's why I made partner. So,
but I also want you to be
great, guys. You have to understand type in. Are you proud of them? It's like they're connecting. Do you hear this? It's like just a warmth. She just gave a whole blanket and wrapped him in this yummy thing, and now he's able to be himself and to share his burden with his wife, which is so beautiful. And it looks like, she's doing this all for him, which she is, and it's a kind act, it's a chesed, it's a wonderful thing she's doing, but she has no idea how this is going to affect the relationship, his ability to lean on her in this way. And it looks like she's doing more work, and now he's going to burden her. She's got to listen to him or whatever, but now he's going to cherish her. And yeah, so it's great. Okay. Go right into the thing. So we're going to switch to the other group now. So go right into the, now asking him about, oh, hello. Right now wait, guys. I think they can't hear. I don't know. You're going to ask him about an idea of what to do about getting him to spend more time at home or more time with you or whatever. So you got one shot, just another 30 seconds. Go.
Okay. I'm so proud that you made partner.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm so proud that you're my partner.
Oh, thanks. Me too.
And I think that you trusting your team, and so you can spend a little more time at home with me and the kids, and we can actually laugh and do things together. That would actually make your life so much easier. At least maybe 1 or 2 nights a week. What do you think?
Wow, that's a really good idea. I can't believe I didn't think of that because I come up with all these great ideas. You know what? Let me talk to the team. I'm sure there's a night or two where I can test the waters and see if they hang. You know what I mean?
Yay! Okay, great going, guys. That was fantastic. Very good. Okay, good. Switching. While they're switching, Sarit, you come in with the next question.
Okay, so I have two questions, but I'll give you one right now. Someone wrote, I really think from Facebook, I really think we need a cleaning lady 2 to 3 times a week now with the kids home more. I know it's a big expense, but please let me know how to handle this. My husband said he's tired of me nagging and asking for more help, and we can't afford it, but he has no idea how much I'm doing.
Fantastic question. We're going to actually take that as our next thing. So, Sarit, you're going to have to read it again. So the wife, Rachel, you're the wife. Listen again very carefully. This is going to be your issue. Okay. It's great. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and then by the way, I have another issue for the next one, but we'll tell you, it's a couple married 37 years, so it's a good one. But let me go with this one.
Okay, great.
So basically, she feels they need a cleaning lady 2 to 3 times a week with the kids home. She knows it's a big expense and they can't afford it, but he's tired of her nagging him and asking him for something that he does not feel that they can afford.
So right now, Rachel, you are complaining about this. You are going to complain and say, as if it's a live thing. You're not talking about it in past tense. You're talking about it right now. Rachel's the wife. Siggy's the husband. Ready, set, go.
Look at this place. I have been cleaning since I woke up. I got up early to clean at 5 a.m. It was pristine. Then people started waking up, and then you woke up, and now look at it. We have to clean more often. What?
Pretty good to me. Looks pretty good to me.
Good. You're not looking. You have blinders on. I mean, this is ridiculous.
You know what?
I don't even know where that came from.
You wanted kids. This is part of what having kids is. You know what? Still a little cereal. It's cute. It's
Nobody
cute.
picked stuff up off the floor. I'm the only one.
Maybe you should be educating a little more.
What?
Maybe you should be educating a little more.
Maybe we should get the cleaning lady more often. I know it was a big thing to have her come once a week. We need her 2 or 3 times a week.
We have you, honey. We have you.
I'm not a cleaning lady. I'm a mom. I'm doing
Very good at cleaning. I'm very impressed with how well.
Not gonna work. Thank you, but that's not the point. This place is disgusting. I feel like we need to like either move.
Maybe you should pick up an extra shift at office and pay for the second day, because I don't feel comfortable putting on.
Who's gonna clean when I'm at the office? Nobody cleans but me. I am the only one.
I picked up my wrapper this morning of my bar, okay? You didn't even notice. You don't notice when I pick up.
And then I handed it to you because you were
And then I threw it out.
You guys are good. Keep going. It's hysterical.
I'm going broke here. Do you want to pay for college one day? She's only 3, but would you like to pay for college? Or should she just go to
at this point, I would rather have a clean house than educated children.
She just heard you say that and she's crying.
You know,
inside.
It's because you're always you're filling their heads with these ideas about like what's important, when I'm trying to tell them it's important to listen to mommy.
Well, maybe you need to up your game and they'll watch their mommy clean a little more, and then they'll do
That's all they see me do. They see me clean and they see me complain. They hear me yelling and they see me cleaning.
Okay, this is, I was enjoying watching you guys because it's so real. It's like, wow. Okay, good job. I'm going to quickly give, as promised, I'm going to give you the 11 habits to stop complaining. Okay, so in the moment, this is when it's about to come out of your mouth and you want to stop complaining. So, you know what? Let me quickly give you planning ahead. Okay, I'm going to just do this really quick because this is what we're all here for. Okay, is to learn how to be the better. You guys are doing great. Okay, and then after this, listen very carefully what I'm saying, and then you're going to use the excuses. I mean the strategies that I have. What is with your mustache with the white inside the mustache?
I'm getting a little old.
Oh, it's the great. It's a great mustache.
All this nagging, all this wife nagging.
Right, okay, it's really cute. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 Plan ahead to stop complaining. Number one, complaining is a sign that something needs to change. Instead of rambling on and going on and nagging constantly about it, devote your energy to figuring out what you can do to solve the problem. That's number one. Number two, journal instead of fetching. Fetching means complaining, okay? It's like it's complaining on steroids. Okay, so explode on paper so you don't explode on hubby. Write it down. You want to write down what happened, how it makes you feel, what can you do about it, those things. So you're journaling instead of, some people journal well and they know and they write their feelings down, whatever. If you're that kind of person, this is beautiful for that. If you're not that kind of person, just maybe write down or write on your phone or whatever, a couple of things that are upsetting you. Okay, complaining competition. So if you complain 10 times a day, try and do 9 times a day, then 8, then 7. Make a competition for yourself, make a chart, do it like on a refrigerator chart. Notice your triggers. If there's certain things that you do that you like, whenever your husband comes home, you're like, natter off all your complaints, start to strategize. Okay, that's when I'm most complaining. What's my best strategy here? You know what? I'm going to journal right before my husband comes home. I'm going to take some time at 3 and 4 in the afternoon, whatever, lunchtime, I'm going to write down a bunch of complaints. And then when my husband walks in, I don't hit him over the head with it. Okay. So that is noticing when your triggers, the timing of your triggers, and then practice gratitude, which is that when you're complaining, everything's all bottled up. And as we talked about, the source of it is entitlement or, excuses. There were a lot of reasons why you would complain. But if you understand that, if you look at your life half full, the glass half full, if you can find things to be grateful about, it, like, you kind of feel dumb. Like sometimes I'll be like, this pencil's the wrong color or whatever. And then I'll be like, the day didn't have to go so nicely. I was waiting there and the person came out right away. And then I got to where I needed to go and they had what I needed and whatever. So if you try and get gratitude. Okay, those are the planning ahead. Now we're going to cover habits to stop complaining in the moment. Number one, the first way to become less complaining of a person is to catch yourself, is to understand. I know people have these ways that they do things. They write check marks, or they, count on their phone or whatever, a counter to count how many times you complain. But if you start listening to yourself, we all complain way more than we would like to admit or like to, it's like, it's really insidious. And you start to feel bad about yourself because like a day can go by and you've got like I complained 42 times or I complained 11 times or whatever it is. So the first thing is to catch yourself. It's not an easy step, but it's the truth. And it will help you to when you notice it, you can actually take action. Number two, ask yourself, is what you're complaining going to be constructive or not? If you're saying, you always come home late for work or whatever, that's not constructive. Constructive would be to zip your lip at the moment and then later say, I'm not sure how to handle it, sweetie. You come home late every day. So is it constructive or not? The third thing is switch it from complaining to venting. So complaining is kind of, if you're making a complaint, you really are, it's better to try and have an action that can produce a result. But we can't always be that perfect. So what I would do is, like, if you're in the middle of a thing and you're about to say, and and I couldn't believe it, and she cut me off, and she did this, and the other person, blah, 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 whatever, say, you know what? Start what you're saying by saying, can I vent for a minute? So first of all, if you say, can I vent? You have to also say for a minute. Otherwise, you would go on for a few hours. Okay, so can I vent for a few minutes? You don't need to do anything, husband, wife, friend, whatever. You don't need to, it's just like changing the mentality, by saying you don't need to do anything with the information. Everybody knows that people have a rant or they have a vent or whatever, and then it ends and they just need to get that out of the system. So get yourself in a situation and your support around you. I need to vent sometimes. I will warn you, hopefully, that I need to vent, but you don't need, it doesn't do as much damage as complaining. Number 4, get into another room. So if you are about to complain and you realize you just have all this kid did that kid did, and your husband walks in the door, Say, I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Got to go to the restroom. Got to go out in the backyard and find a leaf. I don't know, whatever it is. Get yourself in a different location. Okay. Distraction. Go for a walk. Go for a favorite game. Play a jigsaw. Have a jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you like to do. Like if you like to do clay or you like to sew or any of these little hobbies, whatever. Find a place in your house, no matter where, even a box that you pull out and you put it on the dining room table or whatever, that easily folds up and comes back, so that you, just like you do with a kid has its bucket of toys, right? And you put them in the thing and you shut it, right? Mrs. Clean over there, Rachel, everything has its place. Have some kind of a box that has your fun stuff. So set that up so that you can use that as a distraction. Use the word, the next one is use the word but. So my commute is brutal, but I'm glad I have a great job. So use the word but after your complaint. That way, in the moment, you can start to see the glass half full. I've said that like 5 times. Did anyone notice that? I've said it 5 times. Okay, look at the big picture. Will what I'm saying really matter in 5 years, in 5 months, in 5 minutes? And if it's not have any consequences, use that acknowledgement in your mind to not say it. Okay, sandwich your complaint. I love my coworkers, but my commute is very stressful, but at least it's not a longer commute. Something like that. Sandwich the complaint between compliments or between good things. Number 9 is the best way to share the issue I'm about to complain. Now is the best place to do it, verbally, in an email, in a text, in a phone call. How can I communicate this in a better way that might be more productive? Number 10, find positive things to, like if you're really upset, like, oh, this place is such a disaster, also, I love the color of the wall that we chose last month, and the new paint job looks great, but the place is a disaster. Start your sentences with a positive thing first. So as the complaint is coming out of your mouth, thinking that maybe you'll cut off and you won't say the complaint. And the last thing is, first say one thing you're grateful for. I guess that's the same positive. Yeah. So what? Okay. So that was 10 things. Okay, fine. That's what we're going to use. Those are our the habits to develop that we're going to be trying to work on. And now, Rachel, you're going to answer Siggy with that in mind, with those things in mind.
Okay. This place is, sorry, I just had to go in the other room.
It was a little weird, honey. It was a little weird.
I want to tell you that I am so grateful that you, of all the people on this planet, are my husband.
What's the catch?
Then I want to ask you a favor. Can I vent for just a minute?
1 minute.
You started the timer.
Starting right now.
Our kids, when they change their clothes, they stand right next to the hamper and then they put their clothes on the floor. And then I don't know what they're doing with their snack plates, but it's everywhere. It's in rooms that I didn't even see snacks to begin with. The washing machine is broken and I'm having to wash everything by hand. How much time do I have? I am working all day long. I am working so hard. I am
13.
And if you asked me what I had been doing all day, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I have no idea what I'm doing, why I'm so exhausted, but I want to scream and cry. Is that time?
It is time.
Thank you so much. I've told you how grateful I am. Have I told you lately how good you smell? I don't know if everyone notices that, but you.
You do? Yeah. It's his new body wash.
Okay, yay! Fantastic. Good going. That was a comeback. Good. That was awesome. So you guys can see in this latter one, there's just a warmth there. And the venting, because she couched it, whatever, it allowed her to really get her feelings out. And those are really funny and good and adorable. Okay, good job. Let's go to the next team. Okay. Oh, we had a question.
And
there.
while they switch,
okay.
Elia Yeshuva said, don't make such a big deal out of everything for the women. Don't argue. It's okay. Give the guy a break. So shout out to the men. Give the guys a break. Stop being so hard on them. And then Lori Polanski McCrossan asked, my husband, and this might be the next one that we could do. My husband and I are married 37 years. And through the years, I have a tendency to interrupt him in mid-sentence when we are having a conversation. And it is a huge pet peeve of his. I've been trying to be more mindful, but find I am avoiding conversations since I'm not able to do it properly.
not able to interrupt.
She's not, she basically, every time they start having a conversation and he starts telling her things, she interrupts him. And although she wants to stop it, finds that she can't, and he hates it. So she's just avoiding having conversations with him altogether.
She
'Cause
can't
it's easier
not
not to talk.
interrupt.
Yes. And basically in this one, it's the husband complaining that the wife is always interrupting him.
Okay, so yeah, so that we can't use that one because it's
Right, but at least you'll be able to give her, she's asking the question. because
okay.
she's
So I'll
married
give her the
37
advice, then we'll
years
go
and
into the
saying, "Please
next
give us."
issue with them.
Okay.
Okay, so fine. So yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Why would it be that you can't? What would there? I mean, maybe she's still on. She can answer this for me.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I think she's probably excited to talk with him, and he's feeling not heard because she's talking over him. It's like because they both are interrupting as different things, right? Like it's a conversational thing to overlap and interrupt. But if he's sensitive about it and feels like she's not really listening because she's already thinking of the next thing.
Right.
No?
Right, and by the way, Leah, what Rachel's saying is us women, the way we talk over each other. Like, we don't let the person get a word out before we were ready, like, and that's the way we speak. So for her husband, he wants to get one thought out, and he wants her to put duct tape on her mouth, and she is not able to.
But she's saying, she's interrupting because she's saying, yes, I hear you, and also this. Like, she's literally saying, I hear you, by interrupting. And he's interpreting it, or he's receiving it as she's not listening to me. I think it might be the exact same thing.
Yes. Okay. So, but what do we do about that? There's no solution there. And I mean, in other words, that sounds like, okay, this is the way he is. This is the way she is. That's too bad. The issue that it could just be that she's not, we're having lots of good people around. It could just be that she is enthusiastic, but she has one job to do. This is true for all of us. We have one job, which is to make our husband feel heard. His job is to make us feel heard. Okay, got it. Okay, but if he's talking and he has this, maybe it's a controlling thing. He doesn't. Maybe he's the head of a corporation, and when he talks, everybody else at the boardroom just zips their lip and listens. Maybe that's really what's going on. But and so he's got an unusual desire to have undivided attention, and that's kind of annoying as a wife. But if that's his need, our job is to understand that need and do whatever humanly possible we can to fulfill that need for him. Now,
right, and Leah, Lori is actually on, and she typed back saying, exactly, I can have that same conversation with women, and we can handle that kind of conversation, but obviously he can't. Right,
he cannot, and you should never expect him to, because he won't. He won't, and that's not. It's not his job to not feel heard. That means you're kind of trampling. So I'm trying to be not harsh on you and whatever, but I am. There has to be a black and white. There has to be a reality check of what is going on here. You have a need to trample him. What if he had the need to, to control you, or to not let you have what you need to buy in clothes. He had a need. Well, it's too bad. You've got a guy, you got to, loosen up and let her spend what she needs to buy the clothes she needs, within reason, whatever. But I'm just saying, if he has a need not to be trampled, you must honor that need. That's your job. Knowing it's your job will make it 10 times easier, because instead of being mad at him for not letting you interrupt, you'll realize, oh, I'm the one who's interrupting and trampling. No trampling. And I'm using the word trampling, which is a harsh word. I'm using that on purpose so it'll kind of stick in your brain. So as he's talking and you're about to pounce, you will think, ooh, I'm trampling his essence. I'm trampling his soul. I'm trampling his need to express himself. Yikes. I'd far rather you, and that might be way overkill, but I'd far rather you be gun shy to say anything than to let you think that it would be okay to trample him. Now, what will happen from this is you will feel like you don't get yourself expressed the way you need to, which is a little bit frustrating, maybe a bit frustrating, okay? But it's totally compensated for the fact that when he feels heard, he is going to take care of you 1,000 times more. Well, how do I know this? Not because I'm some genius or whatever. It's because we have a Masorah, it's 3,000-year-old track record history that the blessing from God comes through the husband and to the wife. And when you receive his speaking, all right, just by listening and not saying anything, okay, when you do that, more blessing is guaranteed to come into your house. Sometimes you'll see it, hopefully. It's guaranteed that it's there. You may not see it, like suddenly the dishwasher works, or your car that was having a brake problem suddenly fixes itself. I'm just using material things that can happen, that blessing, but there's also spiritual things that'll happen into your home, and happiness and money and all the good things, the things falling into place. Like, wow, wasn't that lucky? We the last minute, all of the Airbnbs in this area we wanted to go were all sold out, and one just canceled and we got it. Wow. That's God's hand taking care of you. And the way you bring more of that blessing into your home is by taking care of your husband, guaranteed. Doesn't relieve him of any obligations for taking care of you. We're not talking about that. We're talking about you and what you can do to bring more blessing into your life and have a closer relationship with your husband. Because this business about, I don't even want to talk to him because, he's just going to not let me be myself. That's the absolute wrong thinking. And it won't work for you. It won't make him happy. It won't make you happy. Guaranteed. If you start and practice not complaining and not interrupting and not trampling him, I predict absolute closeness and gorgeous things going on in your relationship. And do me a favor, please email me back. Don't be upset when I'm saying, I know it's a little harsh or whatever, but I just felt like you had to get a strong message so that you could be strong to do what you need to do. It's hard to break habits. And then do me a favor, type us and write into Sarit or info@ladiestalkshow.com. Let me know how it worked. I guarantee you, if you start doing this and listening to him more, there's going to be so much more closeness and you will be happier. Promise. I promise. Okay, let's go quickly. We only have, we started a little late. So we can go.
Yeah, we started late.
Okay,
so we're a little bit
let's
behind.
do the
This is
last
our
one.
last one.
Do you have, Julie, do you have a complaint that you, on your list that you started? Or
Oh, wait,
maybe
I'm sorry, Leah. Lori said, thank you so much. The best advice.
Oh, that was
Okay,
nice of you to say.
She doesn't mind that you said trample. She's going to use that to like.
Okay. She said that? Oh,
I said that, but I'm channeling her.
Oh, you're channeling her. Okay.
I get it.
But she did say that thank you for the
Yeah,
okay.
she said she's not upset at all.
Okay,
She
thank
did say
you.
that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, good. Okay, Julie, what do you have on your list? Oh, we don't hear Julie. You're muted. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
What do you have on your list?
One is I'm always a human alarm clock. Like for the family, I'm the one who has to say it's time for school to start. It's time. We need to leave now in order to be on time.
Okay, I like that one a
Bedtime's
lot.
around the corner.
What other ones? We only have time for one, but let's hear.
The bathroom smells foul always.
Okay, that's not to go there. Okay.
No, I like
Okay.
the alarm one. The alarm one is good. That's everyone's complaint.
Okay,
It's a
fine.
good one.
Okay,
Let's do
okay.
that
So
one.
you're the alarm. So you're complaining to right now to
Okay.
Taylor and okay, good. Go.
Okay, so again this morning, I get up and you said you were going to let me sleep in 15 more minutes, but the kids are not ready for school. They're in their pajamas. Nobody's had breakfast, and I have to do all the work anyway. So I don't even understand what you were doing.
I did let you sleep for 15 minutes.
Right, but you didn't get anything ready. I'm the one who has to be like, do you know what time it is? And then I come in, I'm the bad guy.
That's not what you said. You said, I want to sleep in for 15 minutes. So I let you sleep in for 15 minutes.
Well, also yesterday I said to you, okay, so we have to leave the house in 20 minutes. Otherwise we're going to be late for our picnic hangout. Right. And then you said, okay, 20 minutes. And then you went and watched TV and the kids went and watched TV with you. And then I got everything ready. And when we had 5 minutes, I gave you a 5-minute heads up. I said, we have to leave in 5 minutes. And you said, okay, 5 minutes. And then suddenly it's 5 minutes to go. And I'm going, why are we not leaving and everyone's going, stop
I had something
complaining. Oh
to
my
do.
gosh.
What do you want me to do? I had something to do. And plus, you know, Josh told me to watch that thing. It was a very informative for me. And, you know, it's so what if we're 5 more minutes late? It's not going to make a difference. They're still going to be there.
You wouldn't even have left the house if I hadn't said it's time to leave. I'm a human alarm clock. I'm the one who says, does know what time it is? It's time
Yeah.
to leave. We have to leave like right now.
I think you enjoy being a human alarm clock, though.
I do
Wow.
not, because I am rule maker mommy and I do not like it. I'm always the one who's yelling at people.
I do a lot of things too. You know, you just like to do them on a certain time schedule. And, you know, when I'm at home, I'm at home.
I just am asking you to help me with the things in a timely manner. We have clocks in every room. We have digital clocks, we have analog clocks, we have timers going off. I'll say, okay, we have 15 minutes and I'll set the microwave timer and then there's a beeping and I'm hoping people actually move and nobody ever moves.
Okay, but that feels more like prison.
I'm alone here. If I never set an alarm, if I never looked at the clock, nothing would ever get done. Nobody would go anywhere. Nobody would go to school.
Well,
Nobody
how
would
you know, because you always just yell at us before we do it anyway. So we already know we're in troubles, and then we just do what we want to do.
Wow.
I can't do this.
Wow. Sarit, this is wow.
They're basically running around in circles over the same thing
Yeah.
and literally getting nowhere.
So
Until she said, I can't do this, which she's right, because she's going to be doing it the whole time because they're getting nowhere.
So let's take a look at what the frustration, and this is, we all deal with frustrations or whatever, but it's very frustrating when you're saying the same thing again and again and you're getting no results. Nothing is, nothing is moving. You feel like I mean, it was very interesting as you were yelling at each other or whatever. I was sitting there thinking like, this is so real because there's it's just a wall. You just can't, and no matter what words are coming out of your mouth, they aren't getting in or affecting anything. And this is a lot of the problems with communication. And we just get into that rut and we just keep trying the same one again and again. And where the game changer is to understand what we can do that would be different, to step back and start fresh and to make a communication to our husband or to anyone for that matter, but to a husband that is radically different than what we've tried. So if it helps, get a journal or a notebook or whatever, or an app, and write down all the things you've tried to not be the alarm clock. You bought another timer. You use the microwave oven to time them. You put clocks in every room. You all write down everything that you've tried that has radically failed. Okay. And then once you understand that, complain to my husband constantly about it. Failed, put a big red check mark, failed, I talk to the kids about listening to mommy, failed. Everything you've tried has failed, but write them all down and say, okay, let's think outside the box. And it might be helpful to talk to a clergy person, a rabbi, a rebbitzin, a therapist, a confidant, somebody wiser, older than you who can help brainstorm. But you got to do some brainstorming and use your head. You got women, we got good heads. We can solve a lot of problems, but we get stuck in a rut of thinking this is going to work. And we try the same thing and the same thing, and it doesn't work. So writing it down, getting clear picture on everything we've tried that has failed. Now you want to start turn over the page, start with a blank sheet and say, what could I do that would work? Okay, I'm going to install water sprinklers in the house. So when the thing is going to spray, every room will get watered. Okay. No, that's probably, write these crazy ideas down because it'll at least get your anger out. Okay. If they aren't leaving, if they don't come for the picnic when the rest of the family is going to be there, and we're going to visit everybody, I am pulling out of the driveway. It might take twice, it may take 5 times, but they will know when I say we're leaving at 1 o'clock, guess what? At 1:10, we're leaving. No, whatever, at 1, they will start to learn it's real. What else could I do? Let's see. I could sit down and have a conversation with my husband and say, how I feel like we're not teaching the kids the right things. Husband, would you like the kids to be on time for their jobs, or would you not care? Well, I'd rather have him be on time for their jobs. How do you think would be the best way for us to teach them that? You know, like whatever, get him on page, get him on side. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to let you do that, Julie. But what you want to do is get a whole list of all different ways, brainstorm different things you might do that might be more successful than what you've been doing for the last 6 months, year, 10 years, 20 years. Okay. Once you do that, a lot of it can be accomplished by having a conversation with your husband. That might be a little bit challenging, but you could do logistics. But right now we're going to do the conversation with the husband. And what you want to remember, some of these tools that we talked about, you want to talk about being, you know, maybe doing the venting thing that like Rachel did, you know, venting a little, maybe it's, you know, going into another room, maybe it's getting distracted first, but this one is because it's a chronic problem. It's probably, you're going to want to do, you want to think about those solutions and reach into your husband's heart and make this our problem, you know, not your problem, but our problem, and get him on board in some way so that he helps become your brainstormer to figure out how you're going to solve this. Okay, you're on.
Can I just tell you how much it meant to me that you let me sleep in for 15 minutes today? That it made my heart fill with so much love for you and appreciation. And I know you had a really, really busy day yesterday, and you gave me a gift, and I didn't even ask you for it. And I'm just so touched. And
Well, I know you were tired. You looked so tired last night. So it was nice to be able to give that to you. 15 minutes is not that much, you know?
I really appreciate it. I actually wanted to ask you if you had any ideas about something, because you are really innovative and you come up with a lot of great stuff. I've been trying for so long to figure out how to keep the kids on schedule and keep our family moving about in a timely way. And I know you've seen me lose it and yell, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just wondering if you had any ideas about how we can help the kids be more punctual, because I want to model that kind of responsibility for them. And I know you're always on time for work, and I don't want to have kids who don't have a sense of that kind of responsibility, you know?
Well, and I think we have to, you know, I think you're right. I think we have to teach them about respect, you know, and respect, and time is about respect. And if they're not there on time, then they're disrespecting the other people's time. And I'm right, you know, like, you know, I could be a little better about that. You know, I just think sometimes you already assume that we're not going to be on time. So then we start getting yelled at beforehand. So then you just don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah, you're totally right. And that's not fair. That's not fair of me. I should look at every situation as a new opportunity.
And maybe we can have the kids be a little more responsible for their own time.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that.
Yay! Wasn't that awesome? I love that. That we bring everybody else back on. Yeah, there we go. That was awesome. Did they do a great job? That was really great. Okay. You learned about complaining. This is you know, don't be hard on yourself, because it takes some time. First of all, remember, catching yourself, realizing how much we all complain every day. I'm telling you, in preparing for this class, I said to my husband, you know, what things do I complain? He said, you really want me to answer that? So yeah, so we all complain, and we're all a work in progress, and we're trying to get better each and every day. But the first thing is to catch yourself, to know, to become aware of the complaining and the bad effects it has on the closeness in the family, and work on these tools that we gave you right here. Okay, thank you very much to Rachel and Siggy and Julie and Taylor and Sarit and the rest of the team. This is Leah Richeimer for the Ladies Talk Show. We'll see you next time.